Hi and welcome to the first of 5 Adobe Illustrator tutorials. So this is going to be the first tutorial showing you some basic tools using Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator is a professional program. The icon looks like this one here, and you will probably have to find yours through the Start menu. You need to go to Start All Programs. There will be a folder that says Adobe Illustrator, and if you click on that you'll have a whole lot of Adobe products. You need to click on Adobe Illustrator, which is an orange icon. So I'm going to just open it from here because I don't have that option. So today what we're going to be looking at is shapes and colours and setting up your document. So once you've got Adobe loaded, yours might take a little longer than this, what you need to do is you need to go to File and you need to go to New. Now this will give you your page. We would like ours A4. You can set it at a custom size, or you can set it at a set size like A3, but A4 is perfect for what we need it for. I'm going to set mine at portrait, but there's no reason that you have to. You could set it landscape if you like. So let's click OK, and here is my page. So what you'll see is hopefully you will have two toolbars, one on the left hand side, which is these ones here, and then one on the right hand side, which is this here. Now we're going to use some of the things on here, and we're going to start working with some of these tools. Now the ones I want to highlight to you are the selection tool, the direct selection tool, the rectangle tool, and the zoom tool, and then we'll look at the colours as well down here. If you've got a little triangle at the bottom of your icon, so you can see that there are a couple, what you need, if you click on it, you'll be able to see that there are a whole range of other tools from that one tool. So let's start off with the rectangle tool. And with the rectangle tool, funnily enough, I'm going to draw a rectangle. So there we go, there's a rectangle. Now I can tell you that that one, let's just click off of him a moment, that is a black outline with a white fill. Now that might sound like a daft thing to say, however, we can tell that this is a black outline with a white fill. If we click on it, you can see that that's a black outline there, and then this has got a white fill. If you wanted no fill, you'd have to select that one. We're not going to do that right this moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go across to the colour palette, and I'm just going to select a colour to fill it in. So let's pick purple. That looks quite nice, colour purple. And if we click off of it, we can still see that we've got it set up so that it's got a purple fill and a black outline. Now what if we want that black outline to be thicker? If we want that black outline to be thicker, what we need to do is we need to go up here to where it says stroke and just increase it. Now it won't work if you've not got your box selected, so let's go with 6. There we go, and that will now you can actually see that is quite a bold box. If we click on him and hold Control and C, that's copying him, and Control and V on our keyboard, then we get another copy. Pop him next to it. There we go. If we wanted to change that around so that we've got a black fill with a purple outline, what we can do is literally, whilst it's selected, just switch on the switch button, that one there. There we go. So let's have a look at some other shapes. So let's have a look at the ellipse tool. The ellipse tool will give you a oval. So what am I going to have to do if I want to change the colour? Let's select him. Let's go to colour that I want. There we go. Now that has appeared here, and I want that the other way around, so let's hit it. No, I don't. It's not quite as nice the other way around. There we go. So that is how to do that. If you want to draw a circle, you'd want it on the ellipse tool. You'd want to press your shift button. Oops, ignore that one. You'd want to press your shift button, click. Quite difficult because I don't have a mouse. Press the shift button, click and drag and release. You want to release your mouse button before you release the shift button. So if we wanted to colour that one red with a yellow outline, at the moment if I click on red, that will colour it red. If I click on yellow, it's going to colour it yellow. Now the reason it is let's go back to red, is this box is at the front. Whichever one you're fiddling with, whichever one is at the front is the one that's going to change. So what we need to do is just click on that one to make it go to the front, and then we'll click on back on there and click the yellow. There we go. So using what we've talked about now, I'm hoping that if we went up to the rectangle tool, so let's select the rectangle tool, what do you think is going to happen if I hold shift down? Have a think about this whilst I'm drawing it. Okay, did you think it was going to be a square? I'm hoping that maybe you did. So let's select that one and let's colour him orange. He's coloured the outside orange. I want the inside orange. So let's go back to this and click orange. What about if I don't want to have an outline? So at the moment I've got a black outline. I don't want the black outline. What we can do is we can go to this none box, that one there, whichever one's at the front. Remember, that's the one that we're going to change. If we go to none, it actually just disappears. So we don't have an outline around that box. We've just got a solid box, which is exactly what we wanted. We go back up to the rectangle tool. We've got polygons, we've got stars. Let's draw a star. Now this is going to draw exactly the same colours as the previous one that you drew. So because we've got orange with no outline, that's what this one's going to do. So what I'm going to do here is slightly different. What you can do is you can double click on here. Now you'll be able to see that we've got a whole range of colours, okay, so you can really go through and pick your own. So these are custom colours. So let's go with a limey green, and then for the outside let's have a sort of turquoisey colour. There we go. Now let's put it back to 1 point, so let's go higher. There we go. So that has a range of shapes on it now. The last shape tool I'm going to show you is the Polygon tool. Okay, so the Polygon tool at the moment, we're drawing over other shapes, it's okay, we'll move this one at the moment. The Polygon tool at the moment is set up to do a hexagon. And hopefully you'll all know that hexagon is a 6-sided shape. Now, if you wanted to draw an octagon, you'd use the same tool, but you'd click on your page and it will say the number of sides, so you can increase it to 8. There we go, got an octagon. Now you can increase that to various different sizes. You could have a 10-sided shape. Does anyone know what a 10-sided shape is, I'm wondering? Right, that's your challenge to find out what that's called. So you can go around making lots of different shapes and using these here. Now I mentioned before about the zoom tool. If you're working on a patch and you want to zoom in, all you need to do is draw a box, so clicking one corner and the other corner over the area that you want to use. So let's have a look. That's our. You can still use these tools here to move it around. Now we've zoomed right in, you might be able to sort of work on more detail inside if you feel you need to. If you need to zoom out with the zoom tool, if you press Alt on your keyboard and click, it will zoom them out. If you want to go back to your whole screen again, if you press Control and 0, it will go back to your whole screen again. So there's that. Now the other thing that I wanted to show you was I wanted to show you a little bit about brushes and the symbols. So I believe that the symbols at school, we've got a whole load more than this. But if you just don't double click on it, if you drag your symbol onto the page, okay, you can move it. So let's drag one of these flowers onto the page. Now you'll see that you've got, if you click on it, you've got this blue box around the outside. So what you can do is you can stretch it. Let's Control Z that. If you want it to be an equal stretch, so that it stretches it proportionately, so it's not skewed, if you press Shift, sorry, you use the corner, you'll stretch it so it's even, so it doesn't end up looking something like that. So these are colour presets, so there's not a lot you can do with these. You can't modify them in any way. So let's make this one smaller. Just Shift button, press down, and from the corner, there we go. So you can play around and insert these. They're sort of a little bit like flip art, but a little bit more sophisticated. The next thing I want to show you is brushes. Okay, so you can have a look and you can see that there are a variety, not a huge amount, but some different types of brushes. So if we click on this one, you'll actually see that it's changed up here. So I'm going to make mine a bit chunkier so we can see it, and I'm going to use the paint tool. Okay, so at the moment this should, if I just draw a line, it should, because it's set, its preset is orange. So if we wanted to change the colour, click the selection tool, double click our colour and change it. So let's go with, okay. Now if you wanted to do a range of these, you could have your pure thing, and then let's go with a big circle. There we go. Click. So as you can see, it actually evens it up. So look how wonky my lines are at the moment. When I let go of it, it automatically smooths it out. So if you can have a play around with that. So what I would like to see on your page is, I would like to see one rectangle drawn, filled with colour, and a second rectangle that is identical except for the fact that you've reversed the colours. I'd like to see a range of the brush tools. I would like to see a range of the symbols. I would like to see at least one star, one hexagon and one polygon. I also would like to see a circle and a square. And I would like to have that all in a range of colours. The colours you pick are completely up to you. Right, we'll have fun experimenting. Good luck, guys.